Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Today is another Freeze Friday update. Didn't buy anything, didn't leave the house. Unless it comes from Dollar General, this girl just hasn't been anywhere. Or Amazon. I do have to say though, I had put some of the Distress ink little cubes in my shopping cart, and then in the middle of the night I woke up, had regrets, and canceled the whole order. So it came close, but I caught myself and I've got more than enough stuff. It will be something down the road that I will end up getting, because I do like how the edges are inked with the little Distress inks, and I only need the minis, but I have other inks, so we're just gonna wait. So today I am going to scrapbook this photo. I believe it was probably from, I think, like Easter. And this is of my sister, my mom, and my brother, who's passed away about 6 years ago. I didn't take a lot of photos at the time with the event. I only have like this one and maybe another one that had like the back of somebody. So I'm not really going to talk about Easter as much as my family. And it's a good picture of Brian, so I just want to get that into the album so that I have the photo of him documented. So again, I'm using my hip kit that I'm trying to bash through the papers and some of the embellishments. And so I chose out these two. The prominent colors that are in the background, my mom's wearing green, and there's some pink flowers in the front. Otherwise, Brian and Bonnie are wearing black, and then the background's brown. So I like this floral because you know me and my florals. And I liked, it had the pink in there, and it did have some of the lime green in it. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and put like a strip of it at the bottom, and then mat my photo onto a doily, and then fussy cut out. It's one of my go-tos. I like the clean look of having, I just like the fussy cut flowers. I'm in my kick, and yeah, I'm not going to stop. So, I mean, I do other stuff, but I'm really, I truly love the fussy cut flowers. There's a girl that I scrapbook with that we go to a retreat, and she'll every once in a while ask for ideas of something to be made, and she'll look at me and she goes, no, I'm not fussy cutting anything. So that is not her cup of tea, and I get it. It's not everyone's. I personally find it kind of relaxing to fussy cut. Okay, so that is 12 already. And now this is, okay, so 12. So I think I'm just going to go with a 4-inch strip. So we'll go with that. And maybe I could pull some washi out too. And put this away for right now. And I kind of like how the top has more of the white space behind it, and this is kind of more solid, so I'm going to put my paper at the bottom. And again, it's not a huge strip. Maybe I'll go and cut a small one at the top. And then the other thing I want to do is, I've been watching everybody this week ripping, so I'm just going to tear the edge and just give it a little bit of a different look. So there's that. I'm just going to go ahead and glue it down now, because I know that's what I want. And I'm going to go ahead and cut another 1 inch to go at the top, and then I'll tear that as well. So hopefully you all have had a good week. I know that Christina and, Christy, not Christina, Christy and Moira already have their Freeze Friday videos up. I haven't seen one from Kathy yet, but she's usually good for getting it over the weekend, so keep your eye out for Kathy. But check out Moira's and Christy's and see what they're up to with their freezes as well. And I know Moira, she had me giggling today. She had bought some, her freeze had the exception of Nuvo drops, because she found that they're more cost effective than, she felt, than enamel dots, where I kind of have both. But she was just starting to collect them when we started our spending freeze. And this is really, you know, being more mindful about what you're buying, and not just going out and spending for the sake of spending. So I'm gonna use, that's beige, but I kind of like that. Let's see if I got a black. So anyways, she had made an exception for herself that she could still buy her Nuvo drops. So she went and just got her stuff all reorganized. I'm snitching into my For the Love of Homemade Kits, and I'm going to mat my picture on this. The pink goes really good, and if you haven't figured it out by now, I am a lazy scrapbooker, and if it ain't within reach, it's probably not going onto the layout. So anyways, back to Moira. So she was talking about how she's bought almost all of the Nuvo drops that have been released, and she went and bought a really cool, you use it for storage for nail polish, and she had space for just a couple more bottles of Nuvo drop, which was good for her because she knew that she still had a couple more that she didn't have yet. So she got it all organized, and there was like space for 3, and she got it all done and was all happy. And then she found, stored in a kit, 4 more bottles. And I just had a laugh because I did the same thing with my paper pads. I found the really cool storage thing that you put underneath your like your kitchen or bathroom cabinets, and they're drawers and they slide out, and they're perfect for 6x6 paper pads, and it's 2 drawers stacked. And of course I went and filled both drawers to the point where you can't get another piece of paper in there. And right after I did it, I found a kit that I was taking apart. They had 4 more pads in it, and I just had a laugh. I go, because it just reminded me of what happened to me. So I think I'm gonna put the doily up here, and then one of these pieces of paper had some tags, so I think I'm gonna build my cluster over here and maybe journal about Brian or something. So let's go ahead and do that first. Yeah, so she had me kind of giggling today because I can empathize with the plight of the Perfect Storage Solutions. I've been scrapbooking for, God, it's got to be almost 25 years, and I still think I'm still trying to figure out where I want everything. So I'm just going to center that between them, and then I'll put a few flowers in here and there to build up. And I know I told you guys last week that I finally bought my storage for my IKEA stuff, and mainly because I was working out of the room, and who knows how long this COVID stuff is going to last, and I really needed a comfortable place to work, and it kind of was my excuse to go in, and I'd saved the money, and like I said, without spending, I've been able to sock a little bit more money into my savings account, and I have a little Mad Money account that my scrappy funds come out of. And also like I would buy lunch when I worked in the office. They have a cafeteria, and so between the not driving and the not eating out and the not buying scrapbook stuff, I had a little nest egg put in my little Mad Money fund, and it was enough to cover all my IKEA furniture. So it's kind of, you don't think it adds up, but it really is surprising how much you can spend when you go to Michael's and, oh, it's half off, and oh, it's a paper pad and it's $4.99 and I have to have it. Or, you go to Tuesday morning and you see all the goodies and you're like, oh, it's such a good deal, I've got to have it. And then it just accumulates in your room to the point where it's not getting used. And then when you finally go back to go and use it, you look at it and go, well, why did I buy this to begin with? I think that's what our whole spending freeze has been about, is revisiting what you already have, trying to organize it to where you know what it is, you can find it, and you aren't mindlessly spending money on things that they're already in your room. And I was doing that, and it's now I go, like the other night when I bought the ink pads, it made me stop for a second and go, okay, you've got other ink, you've got all the Stampin' Up! Colors. Do you really need to have the distress oxides, or can the colors that you have with the Stampin' Up! Pads work just as good? And I hit cancel the order. So, but it is still fun. Like this hip kit, I was having Brian's back in beginning of spring, Brian's stepson got killed in a car accident, and he was only 19 years old, and I was kind of in a funk, losing my nephew. He's been around probably since Brian and his wife started dating when he was probably like 8 years old. So, he was my nephew as far as I'm concerned. He may not have been a blood, but he's there. And so, I was crushed, still am. And so I did what many people do, and I went out and bought some comfort with this hip kit, but I told myself I had to make sure that I used it, because I can't just have it accumulating. So anyway, and speaking of my nephew, I know that one of the projects that I'm going to have coming up right now, I've been working on the COVID-19, my little book, and I'm going to try and get another layout done this weekend, a layout or two, and then I'll just keep going with that as things happen related to the COVID, and how our life is. But one of the things that I want to do is make my sister-in-law an 8x8 little photo album of her son, and I've been saving, as like her sister posts things on Facebook or I see pictures posted, I keep saving them to my phone, and I will be going and trying to make her an 8x8 album. So I'm probably going to film that just so you guys can see how I put together like a gift album. And I know that I usually scrapbook with the 12x12, that's my go-to size, but I thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of see how you can scrapbook smaller sizes too. So that should be coming up fairly soon. I want to try and get that done I've been kind of waiting for me emotionally to get to where I want to do the project. But also I was giving his mom a little bit of time to come to terms with his sudden death, and so hopefully if I have it done by Christmas time, that's going to be my gift to her. And I know that his birthday's coming up in October, and I could even try and get it done for that. And if I feel so bad for her, because she lost my brother suddenly at 47 and now her son at 19, and that's a lot for a person to go through. And she was just starting to kind of get back out there in the dating world and kind of getting her life going again. And she's got a couple grandkids, and you think that life is going good, and all of a sudden you're throwing another curveball. So it kind of makes all the other stuff going on when you start losing people. The whole inconvenience of a face mask is kind of minor, or inconvenience of not being able to do our normal shopping that we do, and being stuck at home is kind of insignificant in a way when you look at the big picture. It won't be forever. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that, and that should be like I said, a fun little project if I can keep it together. Okay, so when I'm doing clusters of flowers, so that I know that in person you can see the definition of them, but I really do try and kind of cluster them and try and get it to where, like, this is a darker red with the pink with the lighter peach, and so you can tell the difference in colors, and I try and group them a little bit. And then, like, anytime I have these extra like florals, what I'll do is cut those out, and then I just kind of stick them wherever they'll go. I'm maybe going to cut out one more. I don't want to keep you guys the whole time with me cutting flowers. And actually what I can do, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off for a moment. I'm going to finish fussy cutting these flowers so you don't have to sit here and watch me. And then I will go and turn it back on when I'm done, and then we'll keep embellishing the layout. Like I said, the ones I'm doing on Fridays, I'm trying to not make like a masterpiece. I'm just trying to chat with you, catch up, and utilize my time making a layout at the same time. So yeah, let me go ahead and turn this off. I'll be back in a few minutes with all my flowers cut out, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, I fussy cut out a large stack of butterflies. This was pattern paper in the kit. This was 5th of Monaco and from Pink Paisley, and it's number 4. The back side's got the confetti. And then I fussy cut out, this is crepe paper, Sweet Stories, Maggie Holmes, and I cut out a couple of the tags. And then I like this You Are Loved, and I thought I could go and put it over the top. However, it's not, you can still see part of it below. So then what I thought is I can angle it, and what I'm going to end up doing is like maybe putting like this and then putting them under, so you can see the You Are Loved, have the tag, and then this like above it, like something like that, and then tuck the flowers in around it, so like that. And then I cut the bottom of this one off, and I thought I could tuck that in under here, or even under the picture. That way I'm pulling some of that yellow down. And actually, if I cut it in half, I can throw some up above. So let me go ahead and do that. So throw a little bit here, like that, and then we'll throw a little bit up here, like that, and then that's got both of those in. Now I've got this journaling card here, and I could go and put it like down here, and then I could write my journaling, or I've got it here and I could tuck more into here and make this bigger, or up here. Actually, if I put it like this, it kind of bridges these across. Let's see how that looks. Nothing's tacked down yet. So then I've got all these flowers, and I try and look like this has got a flat edge, so it needs to go on a side. So like this will go good like right here. And I always try and leave like the butt of the flower up. To me, you can tell more of the flower being there, versus if it's all the way in, it just looks like a blotch. I don't know, it's just my eye. But like that, I can tell it's a flower. And then I have this one. It's got 2 square edges. So I could tuck it under this one and under the card. And then you don't see any. This one's got 1 flat edge, so that would kind of go good up here. This is a bigger one, so maybe put this one down here. I like this bigger one up here. Let's see. I don't want to cover my sister up, and she's right on the edge of the picture, so anything I put over here has got to go underneath. It's not too bad. Got a little greenery I can put up here. Wondering if that looks like too much. I like this, I like this. I'm not sure about this. I'm going to leave it off. Alright, I'm going to start sticking some stuff down, because the other thing, if you watch me, you know I can't stand when things start moving and I can't keep them where they belong. So I'm just going to, as Adele from Inky Quill would say, stick and plunk. And then it takes some of the hem hawing away. And Scotch Quitrite heat, or the ATG, does come back up easily if I need to maneuver. And I'm just going through and kind of just tucking and layering and kind of building it up. I kind of have a general idea of how I want it to look, and then it's just a matter of maneuvering things around. Like, I don't like that right there. To me, it's not flowing. But if I go like a little bit farther over, now to me it's not cut off in there. This is tucked to that. And that's, again, just my eye and how I like it. And I'm just going to start like building it across and building it up. And then I just want to vary the colors, so the colors, you don't have like pink on pink, and that way they stand out a little bit. Because when you're looking at like a bouquet of flowers, there's depth in it, and that's all I'm trying to do, is get depth in it. So I like how that looks. So now we just need to go and do this side and see how we can make this. Now, I think one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half. And I'm going to go ahead and just start building my layers up here. So if I tuck that like that, and then I'm going to do the other one below it. And now I can put this above that. And now as a whole, I can slide the whole thing under. Now I'm just going to build up here. So this one's a nice big one that I can cover up kind of that gap. And then there's also like the dead space in the photo. Like here is the fridge. I don't need this dead space here. So if I go and I kind of tuck this flower over the top, I can then build the rest of them around it. And this is another one that's got a flat edge, so I need to make sure that's tucked under that flower. And now we have a grouping here. Now I've got one more. I can either put it down here, which I kind of like it down there. And that just made that a little bit fuller. So now I've got my three main areas. I do have this little palm frond. Oops, and I just ripped the heck out of it. So let's see if I can salvage it. It just won't be as long, and that's okay. Just throw the rest of it away. So I like that. And now I just have these butterflies that I can just now tuck in here and there. So we'll go ahead and throw one up there. And there's There's another small one, so we're going to have the small one up here by the big one. And we'll put one down here. Just remember, butterflies do land on flowers. And there. We'll get another one maybe up here. And maybe another small one. Put one in the corner down here, that kind of finishes that off. And then we just need one down here. It's kind of big. And these two, I'll just save for another day. Throw them in my kit. So with just using paper, I was able to create this whole page other than the doily. So now to finish it off, it really doesn't need a whole lot of embellishments, but I might like a little enamel dots. So somewhere in here, I think I've got some packs of enamel dots. I do have these bows. The bow would be cute right here. Let me see if I have any other bows. I have these, but they're a little bit brighter. So I'm going to go ahead and go with a gold bow. I'll just add that right there. And let's see. Oh, we got some puffies. Let's see if there's any puffies that we can use. And we have the enamel dots. And these are more like farmer's market kind of stuff. I do like the summer blooms, but I probably have other summer layouts and it really doesn't need any more down there. So I'm gonna hold off on these. But I do like these Jen Hadfield. They're little small buttons, so we'll go with that. And since I used the gold bow, I want to bring in a little bit more gold. So we'll go ahead and add a couple of these in the gold in each of the clusters. And I try not to put them below a butterfly because I don't want the butterfly pooping. So that's just my hang up. Let's see, where do I want one? I'll put one up there. And let's see, up there. Put another one there. And then they do have pink, the darker pink, so to sprinkle a few more, we'll go with some pink. That and one down there. And we'll get one here. Okay, sorry, my phone cut out because my mom was calling this lovely lady here and I didn't pick up the phone, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up so I can call her back. So that is everything. I think we can call this good. I want to thank you for joining me again today. Hopefully you enjoyed another real-time video and my fussy cutting. And we'll be back again next Friday. I've got a lot left on this kit, so we'll try and get another layout made. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we will see you next Friday.